Alright. There's a little more deck technically. Yep, there's your people. Alright, to be expected. Well, this is more so for me anyways, since I don't think anyone's really going to join at this moment. Oh, what's up, Samaj? What's up, my guy? Well, since you're here, I guess I'll talk about the Sacred Beast then, since you're already here. I was gonna wait a little bit before I talked about the Sacred Beast deck, since I do have this one in real life. Lightning Storm. I don't know if Lightning Storm's actually good. Mangler says it's good, but I don't know if it's actually good. Oh, shit, 1 second. 1 second, right back. Alright, I'm back. You still there, Samaj, or what? Because I might as well go over the Sacred Beast deck since I do have one in real life. Pretty okay, these cards suck. Well, face up, sound too. It's good, dude. So it's good. Well, no. So the problem with Lion Storm only works if you don't have anything on the field, right? Well, with Blue Eyes, like aren't you always gonna have something in the field? Okay, so do you have a Sacred Beast deck, or have you seen a Sacred Beast deck at all? Because I have the structure deck support, which is all you really need for honestly the fucking. I hate the consistency of this deck so much because the consistency is just garbage. Okay, so no, the consistency for this is actually fucking insanely good. So I'm gonna fucking set this up real quickly so that way I can talk about each individual card because I've never technically done this before on stream. Hang on. So this is all just in the structure deck. If you want to build this in real life, it's actually super cheap, and the consistency is just disgustingly good. Lion Storm doesn't matter for set cards. I have Sasha Beast support. It could use some Psalms. Honestly, you don't even need Psalms for this deck. Not in the slightest. I mean, if you want to, like, you can because the consistency is so fucking busted. It's like, dude, like I was playing it earlier, and holy shit, like every turn I could summon everything. So I'm just gonna talk about decks I have in real life. Unfortunately, because I only had like 5 decks in real life, but good God, some of this, like, I didn't realize how, oh wait, hang on. Why do I have 2 1-for-1s here? That's not right. I'll leave this here for now. No. Don't run Mound in this deck. If you're making this deck on fucking Master Duel, don't run Mound to the Bound Creator. Not fucking necessary. That card is a fucking waste in this deck. Holy shit. And I'll talk about the field spell first because good God, that field spell makes Mound to the Bound Creator look like a fucking joke. Yeah, yeah, the Sacred Beast fucking field spell. Oh my God, I fucking hate the support this deck has. Because the support this deck has, if the God cards even had a fraction of how consistent this deck was, oh my God, be fucking a fucking completely different story. Holy shit. And the best part is that you don't even have to fucking, aren't they the same? They are not. No. Don't ever fall in paradise here? No, not even close. Actually, I'm gonna turn on light real quickly so you guys can see a little better. Does that work a little better or no? No, it doesn't really make much of a difference. No, don't ever say that again. I'll tell you what cards aren't really necessary. Dude, like you can run like everything at 3 and it makes no difference. That's how fucking consistent this deck is. Holy shit. Because I'm looking at the cards right now. It's like fucking absurd. I don't have any place for Raphael. Dude, I'm running 3 Hyper Blazes. Holy shit, and I was still that consistent. Good God. That I'm like basically running everything at fucking 3. And it's still like, you're gonna mill this deck so hard. Hang on. Yeah. Oh, never mind. Not everything at, nope, yeah. Basically everything at 3. Okay. So I'm gonna get this out of the way right now. I'm gonna start off with the weaker cards and then go into the more like stale ones. You need those effect monsters. No. There's like 7 of them though. There's like an insane amount. So Chaos Core right here, I run at 3 because again, it doesn't really matter if you run at 3, but it's not really necessary for the deck. Can you guys see that a little better or no? Don't really think you guys can. Yeah, so this card's good for defense. It does send one of your god cards from the deck to the graveyard, but it's not needed. It's probably like this might be the only card in the entire deck I'll say that realistically speaking, I'm only running it because it's pure archetype support. It's not necessary. You could easily run this. You could easily replace this with like Solemns, for example, like you were saying, run Solemns or something. This does let you protect yourself, and it does mill your deck a little bit. Yeah, no, Chaos Core right here, honestly, I'm only running it just because it's part of the archetype. It's not needed in the slightest. It's probably the only one that's not needed. That was 2007 card? Was it? Makes sense why it's not that good then in comparison to the other support. I like it just to like run it, but it's really not necessary. The next one I'm going to say you don't really need to run, and it's going to be a little weird, is 3 of the Fusion spell card. Dimension, Fusion, Destruction. Not really necessary. Actually, first things first, before I actually start talking about this, I'm just going to give you like a deck rundown. Just so like if people watch this and they want to see. 3 Chaos Cores, 3 Chaos Summoning Beasts, 3 Ravael reprint, or the new Ravael card, Ravael Summoning Scrapper. That one's actually pretty good, but we'll talk about that. Fallen Paradise at 3, 2 Ravael specifically, 2 Hamons and 2 Arayas, just 2 of the god cards in general. 3 Cerulean Strikes, the spell card that has Hamon on it. 3 Hyper Blazes, this one's actually super good. 3 Dark Beckoning Beasts. Doing no profile text. I'm just going to do that on stream here for the most part. 3 Summoning Beasts. 3 Awakening of the Sacred Beasts. 3 Phantom Chaoses. This card's not even needed either. You could literally run generic support. 2 Opening of the Spirit Gates. I do run 3 of the Fusion. And I think, and again, 3 Chaos Summoning Beasts. I do run 1 for 1. This is actually really good for the deck. And Monster Reincarnation is just there as a joke. Honestly, I'm taking this out. Not even needed. That's just a waste of space. So there's like, even with this deck, which has like some dead cards, almost every turn I could consistently do shit. Maybe Sacred Beast is your 3rd Master Duel archetype. Dude, I'm gonna be complaining. I'm gonna be fucking complaining here for like a little bit. Not because this archetype is bad, but because of how fucking good it is, and in comparison to what the god cards get, it's so fucking disgusting. Hang on, let me sit down here a minute. Okay, so again, Chaos Core, already talked about it. Don't really need to run it. I run it, not really important for the deck. You can easily replace it with some hand traps. Some Ash Blossoms in there would be way more useful for a deck as a whole if you're running this competitively. I'm gonna get this out of the way right now. Fallen Paradise. This shit can be searched by fucking basically everything in the fucking deck. Fallen Paradise. This right here is the most disgusting field spell I've seen. It protects your fucking Araya, your Hamon, and your Ravael. Just as good as Mound of the Bound Creator, if not a little better. It's just as good as Mound of the Bound Creator, except it actually has the effect that if you control any of these cards, any 3 of them, or any one of them, you get to draw 2. So you get complete board like protection for your entire boss monster setup, and it lets you draw 2 every turn. So every turn you draw 1, you're drawing 3 if you have this card on the field. So perfect fucking protection, and basically a free pot of greed. And there's no restriction. Like literally, let me read the sentence for you. If you control Araya, Lord of Searing Flames, Hamon, Lord of Striking Thunder, Ravael, Lord of Phantoms, or Armatile, the Chaos Phantom in your monster zone, you can draw 2 cards. And you can only use it once per turn. You get a +3 every time you draw, as long as you have that card on the field. No negatives. No negatives. And you know what? It doesn't even say original name with the monster. So you can combo it in the Phantom of Chaos. Let's say this card gets destroyed in the graveyard. You run Phantom of Chaos here. You banish this card in your graveyard, and then this card becomes the name of Ravael, and then you get to draw 2. I do run Phantom of Chaos at 3. Again, you don't really need it. I'm really just running this here specifically You should put burial so you can revive one of your cards with the trap card. Don't even need it. Dude, like, well, I'll talk about the God card deck in a little bit. If you guys want to give suggestions there, go ahead. But for this deck, you just need, if you just bought 3 of the structure pack, you had like a top tier deck. Or at least, well, I consider top tier like casual. This card, good for the setup, don't even need it. It's like, again, you could replace it with hand traps, just as effective. This deck needs no draw power, because there's going to be, like, I'll, like, do some, like, shuffles. There's going to be, like, no way in hell you're not gained by turn 2, if not turn 1, at least one, like, the entire board set up. 2 Raphaels, doesn't fucking matter. You're really only playing him because he's a 4K beat stick. Means nothing. It's the support that matters. Hamon does have a neat effect in the form that if you do destroy a monster with Hamon, again, another 4K beat stick, run 2, it does deal 1,000 damage to your opponent. So the Mound of the Bound Creator effect that gives you 1,000 damage on card destruction with a monster, Hamon has it built in, and then you just get the better support with the fucking field spell. And if it's in defense position, you can actually force your opponent to attack it. Hamon by itself, decent, not that good. I want to talk about Hamon's support card for a minute, and then I'll talk about Raphael's, but Hamon's support card's pretty good. So this card right here, okay. This is where it gets really stupid. If you've never played Sacred Beast before, or you know nothing about the archetype, when the Sacred Beast first came out, does Fallen Paradise effect linger after it gets banished or destroyed? If Fallen Paradise's effect does not linger, but there are so many ways to summon Fallen Paradise and get it back into your hand, I'm going to be honest with you, you're probably never going to need to worry about being destroyed. Unless your opponent has 3 MSTs, then you might be in trouble. But fucking, so for example, Hamon. The original way you summoned Hamon was you had to send 3 face-up continuous spell cards from the field into the grave, which was stupid. It was still easier summoning a God card, but it was still stupid, because why would you play 3 face-up continuous spell cards? So, in an attempt to make this deck better, and I'll talk about the monster support that makes that completely trivial, they decided in the structure deck to release a spell card and a trap card for the 2 stupid Sacred Beasts that need to be summoned with spell or traps. Not entirely the stupidest thing in the world, but very niche idea that wasn't very good. So Cerulean Skyfire, this is the one for Hamon, only works on Hamon, but it does have generic support. I'll explain afterwards. I'll read it first, explain what it does, then I'm going to run at 3. ¿Qué tal su tiempo, Emma? Buena suerte. Okay, so I'll first do Sacred Beast Rogue. Dude, my friend runs Dark Magicians, and he's just missing like Magician Soul, and that's about it. He's got Dragoon and everything. This deck was handing Dark Magician a few losses. So, depends on where you want to put Dark Magician at, because this deck can like fucking, it can steamroll you. Fuck your Dark Cybers, Kyle! Anyways. So, Cerulean Skyfire, right here, this card, not that good on its own. Is Dark Magician's like tier 2? Dude, I'm not kidding. If you just run the generic support, the archetype-specific support, you're going to stomp. Like, I'm going to be honest, I don't know how consistent this will be in Master Duel, because in real life it's consistent, but in Master Duel, this is just going to fucking destroy. No, dude, like, straight up, look up Sacred Beast support. As long as there's not too many fucking ultra rares, this deck is good value. Like, I like God cards. Their deck fucking sucks even with their best support. This deck, the monsters are not good on their own in comparison to the God cards, but with this support, so much better. I'm home with Crystal Beast. So, Cerulean Skyfire. This is the Hamon specific card. I'll talk about what it does, and then I'll explain, you'll probably understand. Right? So, this first part doesn't matter, but I'll read it anyways. To special summon Hamon, using its own procedure, you can also use face-down spells you control. So, you no longer need continuous spells. You can use any face-down spell, send it to the graveyard. Don't fucking worry about that. You're never going to summon it like that. There are like 5 billion ways to summon Hamon that are way better and way easier. Don't even worry about it. Not important. Right here. So let's continue. Once per turn, while you control Hamon in attack position, you can negate any spell and trap card activated by your opponent, then change Hamon from attack position to defense position. So if you have Hamon, trust me, you're going to have Hamon on the field consistently. Hang on, I'm going to turn on the lights. It's starting to get a little dark. What the hell? There goes a little better. It's starting to get a little dark over here for some reason. you can negate a card and you flip Hamon to defense position. When Hamon is in defense position, I think I already mentioned this, you can force your opponent to attack Hamon. So if you have weaker cards, you can force them to attack Hamon, who's a 4K defense and attack monster. On top of that, if any of these 3 god cards get sent from the field to the graveyard or just gets removed from the field, you can take no damage. So, let's say they send it back into your hand because you can target it unless you have Lost Paradise. You will have Lost Paradise like 90% of the time. No, Hamon can only negate 1 spell or trap with the spell card on the field. By itself, it only does more damage. But with this, again, you can run it at 3, super consistent. You will like be able to negate 1 and then get a better defense position to protect your level 0 attack monsters. No, Newen, don't worry. We'll talk about this card. We'll talk about this. Honestly, no, like honestly, Kyle, even if you run Cyber Dragons, yeah, don't destroy your wallet. I just spent like fucking 3 figures for Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Don't buy Yu-Gi-Oh cards in real life. Like, this deck actually pretty cheap. You want to buy the Sacred Beast deck? Super cheap. This structure deck, not that expensive. You can buy this for like you can buy this for $30. Buy 3 structure decks, you get this entire deck. So if you like this archetype, there you go. So yeah, Cerulean also protects your life points if it gets removed. Beautiful card, 100%. Now, I'm not gonna talk about the real good shit yet. I'm gonna cover the other cards first. But good God, there is one card that is fucking stupid. So Arai's only important part you have to worry about. It does say that it gains 1,000 attack for every continuous trap card in your grave. Don't worry about it. This is a fucking joke. You're running this as a joke just to get the 3rd ability on this one. This does not matter. It does pop 1 back row card. Does not fucking matter. This does not exist in your eyes. It is the last one you summon. You will never summon it first. It is the worst one. You're only summoning it to make this card better. Don't worry, that doesn't exist anymore. So let's talk about support card. Hyperblaze does the same thing that the fucking spell card for Hamon did, where it counts face down trap cards as a summoning condition. Again, don't worry about it. Doesn't exist. You will never use it for that purpose. It is complete fucking trash. So this one right here, you can send 1 trap from your hand or deck to the graveyard. Its attack defense becomes the number of face-up traps on the field and in the graveyard times 1,000. So, in fairness, if you do run this card and send other traps to the graveyard, you can make this better, but there's no fucking point to, because you have a fusion card with 10,000 attack. Hang on. Never need to run this. Don't even worry about it. Does not exist. So, right here. Once per turn, you can discard 1 card, add to your hand or special summon 1 Uriah, 1 Hamon, or 1 Raphael from your graveyard, ignoring its summoning condition. So as long as you have this card on the field, even if they pop your god cards, you can just discard any card and get them back into the field like it never fucking left. And as far as I'm aware, that's not limited to once per card. Wait. It's once per turn? I don't know. If you run 3 of these, you can do it 3 times. That I don't know, but that doesn't really matter, because if you're having trouble trying to figure that out and you need to figure that out, you've probably already lost the duel at that point. No, Newen, Lost Paradise is fucking disgusting. God, I wish God cards had Lost Paradise. Okay, next I'm going to need some help on the Sacred Beast lore. Dude, just like, again, I've already told you all the cards you need to get here. No diff whatsoever. Like, I've already, like, just go watch the first, 5 minutes, and I'll tell you every card you need to get at what number I have them at. But you can just add some Ash Blossoms for some of the cards I'm telling you is kind of trash. Opening of the Spirit Gate is at 2 for me. But this one's really good, too. In fact, this one it's not essential, but you activate it, and you get to add one of the God cards into your hand. And then, no, this is actually the good part. You either add 1 God card into your hand or 1 Sacred Beast into your hand, or you add a monster or card effect that lists them in the description. That's all its summoning engine. You get to search basically anything in your deck as long as you're running a pure version. No, it says 1 monster. All right, but either way, again, you're special summoning it with 1 monster. Just search this up and boom. So literally, this card gives you the combo of finding one, playing this, and then summoning it in one turn. It's fucking disgusting how good this is. On top of that, once per turn, you can discard one card, special summon one level 1 fiend monster, just summoning this. You're only ever going to hit this. Actually, it's the only one you can hit, but it's the only one you want to hit anyways. From your deck, or from your graveyard, then once per turn, if you control a level 10 monster, you can add one continuous spell card from your graveyard to your hand. Dude, I run the fusion. It's super worthy of 10,000 to finish our opponent. Again, if you compare Fallen Order. No, like, dude, fucking, no, like, fucking, that field spell for this deck, fucking disgusting. Makes it fucking top tier. So this is the Raphael support card. I did not talk about this because it's not really necessary. I do run it at 3. You don't really need to worry about this one, but it is good also as well. So basically this does, it's a hand trap. You send it to the graveyard and Raphael gets 4,000 attack points. So, also it can attack all monsters your opponent controls once per turn. So this not only works as a board clear for direct attack, and if you have Lost Paradise, you basically no one's gonna stop you. It also buffs it to 8,000 to attack. So, it's pretty fucking disgusting. On top of that, if this card is in your graveyard, you contribute one monster, add this card to your hand. This card's gonna, like, be worthless in your, like, field most of the time. So, again, if you compare Fallen with the field spell, the gods, way better, absolutely. So, yeah, Raphael, he's good. Run him at 3. You don't, like, there's no reason not to, and you can search him out with the spell card I mentioned. Okay, Chaos Summoning Beast. This one's really good, because this one is going to be your best searcher, and afterwards I'll play a few, I'll shuffle a few hands and show you guys what it's like. You can tribute this card, special summon one Uriah, Lord of Searing Flame, or one of the 3 Sacred Beasts from your hand, ignoring its summoning conditions. You can banish this card from your graveyard, add one Fallen Paradise from your deck to your hand. You can only use each effect of Chaos Summoning Beast once per turn. Yeah, so you play this, tribute it for one of your fucking Sacred Beasts, and then you immediately banish it, get Lost Paradise on the field, draw 2 cards, and now you have like a +3 play there. It's pretty fucking crazy. Next up, Dark Summoning Beast. This one's kind of shit, honestly. It's the first, like... So before the structure decks came out, they tried to make them better with Lost Paradise, which was good, and Dark Summoning Beast. Unfortunately, Dark Summoning Beast, while not bad it's not bad in comparison to its new support. It's complete trash. I mean, you still run 3 of these because it's still not bad. Like, the trash support in this deck is still better than most fucking support in most, like, average support in another deck. It's, like, the consistency just insane. So you contribute this card, special summon one of the 3 fucking Sacred Beasts, or from your hand or deck, so that is pretty good, ignoring its summoning condition, but you cannot attack the turn you do that. So you can't, like, I mean, like, if you're not planning to attack, it's good, but if you're planning to attack, it's kind of trash. But you can only use this effect of Dark Summoning Beast once per turn. I'm not sure. I think just try SR. You can banish this card from your graveyard and add one Sacred Beast from your deck to your hand. So the way I play this normally is I will discard this card, showing me my Yu-Gi-Oh cards, but they have no value. Why you gotta say that, though, Red Dusk? So, honestly, I just use this card to send to the graveyard just to search out one most of the time. I mean, you can use it to summon one, but meh. Just use that card 1 for 1. Discard 1 monster card, special summon 1 level 1, and then you can just immediately do the play as well. Again, I'll shuffle it. I'll show you guys the consistency. I doubt, like, you're gonna brick. You might brick once every now and again, but honestly, the consistency of the deck is so insane that, like, if you can survive 1 turn, you can probably make it work. Dark Beckoning Beast, I play at 3 as well. This is the last support they released here for monsters. This one is, when this card is normal summoned, you can add 1 Sacred Beast or 1 card that specifically lists any of the Sacred Beasts in its text to your hand. So, you play this at level 2, play it, you get a Searcher, and on top of that, it also allows you to special summon 1, or normal summon again, 1 0-cost Fiend monster, which does include the 5-star Fiend monster. So you basically get a Searcher to set up your archetype, to set up your summon. On top of that, you also get the ability to, well, get your fucking card. And you can get any card that lists them. All of the support lists them, even the field spell. This right here, I'll talk about this. It's the fusion card. Honestly, you really don't need it half the time, but it's still pretty good. Banish from your hand, field, and or graveyard. The fusion materials are listed for a Phantasm fusion monster. Then special summon that fusion monster from the extra deck, ignoring its summoning condition. You take no battle damage from attacks involving the monster special summoned by this effect. So, if you control any of the three Sacred Beasts, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to this card's activation. You're never not going to play this card without Sacred Beast on the field. And honestly, there's no point to play this with Sacred Beast on the field, because honestly, you're probably going to win without Armentile. Now, the reason that you take no battle damage is because Armentile on your opponent's turn has 0 attack power. On your turn, 10k. Opponent's turn, 0k. So it can be killed pretty easily. It cannot be destroyed by battle. And if I recall correctly, it is also protected by Lost Paradise. So good card, not needed with the new support. The last fucking support. This is so disgustingly good. It should have been God card support because of what it does, especially with its first effect, but my god, this is so disgustingly good. And it doesn't even specify original monster. This trap card is fucking insane. It is absolutely insane. And you know what? You don't even need all three to make it insane. You just need two. And it's just their names. It's not even original names. So let me break down what it does. God, I wish this was a God card support. So, this card gains these effects based on the number of Uriah, Lord of Syrian Flames, Hamon, Lord of Striking Thunder, or Raphael, Lord of Phantasms, with different names you control. What does it trap? It traps nothing, except your opponent's entire game as long as you summon something, but I'll explain. So, basically, for each individual Sacred Beast you run or you have on the field, it gains another effect based on how many you run. Again, it does not have to be original name. It just has to be named that. So if you can't summon one from the graveyard, Lord knows fucking why, you can just use Chaos you can just use this card like I mentioned earlier in the rant here, Phantom of Chaos, to get the named effect. But you really shouldn't need to do that. I don't really think you're ever going to run that situation. If you have one card, each time your opponent normal or special summons a monster, gain LP, so gain life points equal to the attack of that monster. So if your opponent's running a massive special summon deck, let's say the XYZ or Link 5 monsters, all their attack is yours. It goes to your life points directly. It fucking should have been raw support. Fucking bullshit. These guys don't even run life points for a mechanic, but whatever. Fuck me. Anyways. The second effect, negate the activated effects of monsters your opponent controls. So this is an active effect. Your opponent cannot activate any effects whatsoever. XYZs, fucking out of here. Synchros, fucking out of here. No, dude, again, Newhin, the deck is so consistent. You can run 3 of all of this, and you're hardly ever going to brick. I played 5 decks today with it, shuffled it multiple times, the fucking 10 piles, shit like that, never really bricked. Now, I didn't always get this card, to be fair, but if you do, yeah, no, it's insane. And these cards are so fucking easy to summon. That way you can protect your cards from Happy Fire Duster. I'd run 2 of that continuous trap card in my body. Oh, my body has a shield? That one's not bad. It's there's room to make randoms in this deck, for sure. There's room to play some more rogue support. These are so easy to summon, and it's so easy to get 2 on the field, that the fact that for 2 of these cards you negate every activated effect is fucking stupid. Now, to be fair, it's only monster effects, so your opponent can use MST to destroy it and shit like that. But a lot of people don't run direct MST anymore these days. They usually run either, I think they run a banish card, but even then, it's most people use monsters to, pop your back row. 3. So you have 3 of them, all 3 of them on the field. Any monster sent to the graveyard is banished instead on your opponent's side of the field. So you destroy a monster that would have a graveyard effect. Let's say you destroy White Stone of Legends for Blue Eyes, sent to the banish pile, not to the graveyard. And once per turn, if you control a level 10 monster, you can add 1 continuous trap from your graveyard to your hand. So if that card gets popped over there, you can do it. And if this card gets popped and you have a continuous monster and you play a second one, you can get this back into your hand to replay it. Granted, I don't really think you want to run more than 1 on the field at a time. I don't think there are effects that there's I don't know if the life point gain stacks. If it does, that's pretty fucking busted. There's also no limit to the life point gain. It's just as many as your opponent summons. So, let me go ahead and shuffle this up real quickly before I move on to the other cards. The other decks won't be too hard to explain. This one requires a little more than usual. Let me just go ahead and shuffle real quickly, and then I'll show you guys like one hand of how this works, and I'll tell you like, I'll give you like a sort of combo breakdown depending on what I get. Because, now granted, I'm pretty sure the effects work the way I'm going to use them. Yes, but if your opponent uses like Heavy Swarming deck, which is a super common today, you will hit 200,000 LP in no time. Yeah, but like, so like, what I'm confused, what I'm wondering is, does the life point gain on the trap card stack? So let's say I have two of them and my opponent summons a Blue Eyes. Do I get 3,000 life points, or do I get 6,000 life points because I have two trap cards with the same effect? Because it doesn't say once per turn or can only control one card. So, alright, I'll go ahead and do another cut in half. If the LP, oh, then yeah, that's fucking disgusting. Yeah. Alright, let's see what I got. Card 5. Okay, immediately. Look at that top deck. Look at that top deck right there. Let me tell you a place. You play Lost Paradise on the field. Then you summon this card right here, Chaos Summoning Phantom. Tribute it to the graveyard. Summon Hamon. Draw 2. And I now have another searcher to search any card I want to support Hamon. I can search Hamon's spell card right now. And now I have protection from spell cards right there. And on top of that, because I've Lost Paradise in the field, nothing can destroy Hamon outside of battle phase. He's a 4K beat stick. I also have Hyper Blaze, so if he does get destroyed, I can bring him back next turn. And on top of all that I've said, I can discard one card and special summon him back onto my field to summon another one if I had two of them, but I only have one. Instant, 3 down, 2 searchers, 3 draw, easy. Now let's do that again. Let's see again how this goes. Unfortunately, you can't seem to see the board all that well. Don't really think I can do that. I told a friend of mine that used Sacred Beast against my D deck, and he hit it 3,000 LP on my turn. 30,000 LP? Yeah, no, it sounds about right. Okay, another 5 cards. Let's see what we get. Dark Beckoning Beast, Chaos Core, Fallen Paradise, Opening of the Spirit Gate, and Dark Summoning Beast. Once more, Fallen Paradise first. Don't really need to play it right away, but you can if you want. Dark Beckoning Beast on the field. Lets me search one monster that can lets me search any card that fucking lists a Sacred Beast monster, and lets me special on top of it. And I have another searcher already because I have the 2-cost card here, but let's continue here for a moment. And keep in mind, I have Chaos Core in my fucking hand. Imagine if this was an Ash Blossom. I'd be ready for like half of my opponent could throw my way. So then right here, again, let's go ahead and let's add to my hand. Well, I can actually right now, yeah, let's go ahead and add that. Let's go ahead and add Chaos Summoning Beast. Don't need to. It's not necessary, but we'll do it anyways. Next, play this card. Bring out any of them again. Let's see. What am I thinking? I'll bring out fucking Master Duel later. We'll see what happens. I'll bring out Hamon, since Hamon's the best one, honestly. Next, I bring this card out on the field, Chaos Summoning Beast, because I can normal summon again, tribute it to activate its effect, bring out Hamon, draw 2, and I have another Opening of the Spirit Gate. Now, to be fair, you can only activate one of these per turn, but I also got a second Fallen Paradise. Here, I'll do one more. One more shuffle. As you can already see, turn 1, I'm getting crazy value consistently across the board. No, make no mistake, this structure deck, probably the single best Yu-Gi-Oh! Structure deck for like a person who doesn't want to spend a lot of money. Buy 3 of these, you have a solid deck, absolutely 100%. And like, again, not breaking in the slightest every single fucking time. Here, let me try and like spread these out a little bit. Let me just try and spread these out just one more time. Okay, just like that. Hang on, because I want to make it clear how consistent this deck is across the board, and I'm trying to see like how often when I'm gonna brick. All right, one last play in half. What did we draw? Okay, I think we might actually brick for once. Okay, yeah. So we finally bricked one time. So this is what your brick hand's gonna look like. You do get the trap card, pretty good. You do get this card, but unfortunately, Dimension Fusion Destruction is kind of trash. Araya can't be summoned on its own. The next card is Cerulean Skyfire, so we finally bricked. Yeah, opening the Spirit Gates is 2 turns ahead. Finally, we finally bricked with this deck. But then afterwards, the consistency was going to kick in. So, again, you can change the values a little bit. You don't have to run it exactly as I do, but the consistency of this deck is absurd. And already, another hand. Again, still kind of trash, but we do have Dark Beckoning Beast, so we can set it up. I will make a Sacred Beast deck on Master Duel because it's just so much better than the God cards. But I'm just trying to show you that, like, you know, in my deck in real life. Again, we kind of bricked here again. Hang on. Maybe not. Let me try to play this hand real quickly. Okay, face down. Summon this onto the field, which allows me to search 1 Uriah. Okay, no. No, we didn't brick. Because I can use this card to search up any card that lists them from the text to their hand. So I can search up... Try to play it? Yeah, I'm going to play it real quickly. I can search Lost Paradise, and because of its effect, that allows me to special summon 1 level 1 monster, well, like 1 0-cost monster. I can play Lost Paradise. I can summon Dark Beckoning Beast, which I don't recommend doing this, but again, we're trying not to brick. Play Cerulean Skyfire, tribute Dark Summoning Beast's effect in order to summon a Hamon, activate Fallen Paradise after reshuffling your deck, and I ended up with a Hamon on the field, Lost Paradise, Cerulean Skyfire, the card that gives me more LP, and unfortunately my hand did brick after that. But if Hamon survives, I get to draw 2 per turn. So let's say next turn, I get to draw 3 after my first initial draw, and I have drawn Ravael, a second Searcher, and a Chaos Core you do not need. And I thought I bricked there. And I got a complete fucking board and more draw power for fucking almost nothing. So let me tell you right now, when I say that, if you're going to build a deck that's like God card-like-esque, do not build God cards. This is way more bang for your buck in both real life and in Master Duel by far. Very rarely are you going to brick, but you can make this shit happen, even with like the almost worst of conditions. Okay, fine. Okay, so this is another brick for sure. Yeah, right here. The only time you're going to brick, honestly, is the Fusion card. You might want to run this a little less to maybe put like, I don't know, because like the Fusion card's not bad, but it doesn't really do much. So this is another bricked hand. And then we get Phantom of Chaos next. Yeah, so this hand for sure did brick. So I showed you 5 hands, 2 brick. Let's try one last time. Again, like, as long as you just get one of those level 1 monsters and there's plenty of them to work with, you probably won't brick. And that's assuming you don't get just other searchers in general. And none of these cards are limited as far as I'm aware. Alright, let's try one last time. Dark Beckoning Beast, alright, we've already not bricked. Chaos Core, again, you can replace it with anything, and we got 2 Dark Beckoning Beasts. Yeah, no, alright, yeah, so, yeah, it just doesn't, it just hardly ever bricks. You can always make plays off it. Honestly, that one would be a little hard to work with, but we did have Ravael. Okay, so actually I can play, let me play that hand real quickly to show you guys how to play like a little bit more of a harder hand. This is pretty hard hand to work with. So we have Ravael in our hand, we have Dark Beckoning Beast, Chaos Core can be an Ash Blossom again, does not matter to the deck at all, Dimension Fusion, and our Dark Beckoning Beast. A little bit of a hard hand to work with. So you want to summon Dark Beckoning Beast first, allows you to search out any card in your deck that mentions the card. You go Dark Beckoning Beast into... Seriously, just get rid of Chaos Core. It's not needed. Just run some hand traps. Way better. Chaos Summoning Beast. Summon Chaos Summoning Beast onto the field. Use Chaos Summoning Beast effect to send it to the graveyard to summon Ravael. And banish Chaos Summoning Beast. By banishing Chaos Summoning Beast from your graveyard, you get access to, you guessed it, Fallen Paradise once more. Reshuffle your deck. And you now have access to a draw 2, which for me gives me a 1-for-1 and a Cerulean Skyfire. So not a great board by comparison, But we have a 1-for-1, and we have a second Dark Beckoning Beast, and we have a Chaos Core that doesn't matter, and you can probably cut down the Fusion card a little bit to make it a little more consistent, run something better. So, yeah, no, Samaj, just run this archetype, like, change up some cards. Oh, no, T-Tech, this does not break consistently at all. This is probably, of all my decks, this is one of the most consistent. I have like 7 decks. This is probably one of, not my most consistent deck. It can brick, and when it does brick, it does suck, but there are so many ways to make a play happen with this deck. Everything bricks at some point. That's just a fact. I don't think there's a single deck that never bricks. But this deck, 40 minutes talking about this deck, holy shit. This deck, for sure, at least in real life, does not break. You guys saw me shuffle it consistently. I was able to make consistent plays. The only thing that scares me a little bit that I might be wrong about is how I use and Newhin, you've played this deck in real life, so you can tell me Chaos Summoning Beast. Because Chaos Summoning Beast says you contribute this card to special summon 1 god card. So I summon it, this is how I play it. I summon it onto the field, I tribute it to special summon the card. I don't know if that's how it works. If that's how it works, then yeah, this deck is super inconsistent. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. I'm pretty sure you can normal summon this, tribute it for its effect to special summon a card. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. I could be wrong though, but I don't think that's not how it works, because the 5-star monster has the same text and it works that way. That's the only thing I'm a little concerned on. Do not. This card right here sucks. I tried running it. Phantasmal Martyrs, because I like running complete like fucking support. This card is fucking garbage across the fucking board. No reason to fucking run it. It's terrible. I don't even know why the fuck it gives you tokens. It's fucking trash. Don't run this at all. Waste of fucking space. I ran it in my deck. This bricks hands. This is trash. Do not run this. That's how it works. All right, yeah, great deck across the board. Phantasmal Martyrs, garbage. Again, like I said, there were some cards you can definitely change up in that deck to make it more meta relevant, like hand traps. I don't run hand traps because I'm not going to spend $10 for a fucking lolly, but that's just me. Then why keep it? Oh, this card? No, I don't keep it. So I realized today how bad this is because I haven't played this deck all that often. Hello, K-Benson. Hello, Night Slayer. 2007 support is based, you can't comprehend it? Dude, let me read the effect for a minute. No, this card fucking sucks. While you have at least 2 other cards in your hand and control Uriah, Lord of Searing Flames, or one of the Sacred Beasts. No, it's either just Uriah and Hamon. Send your entire hand to the graveyard, special summon 3 Phantasmal Martyrs. You can't! This doesn't even fucking combo into fucking Ravael! It's meant to summon Ravael, it doesn't combo into him! Fucking trash. Now, if this said, except Ravael, not that bad. But the fact that you can send Ravael to the grave, you can't even combo Monster Reincarnation into that unless you place it down the field. No, trash. Oh man, my face is red a little bit because that card is just fucking terrible. Well, at any rate, let's go ahead and put the card back. Base 2007 support, fucking trash ass 2007 support, more like it. Hang on, I'm just gonna put these sleeves in. No, dude, like such good support for the archetype, and that card is just like, hey, I'm just gonna be fucking trash. You can't combo Monster Reborn unless it's on the field. Why would you put it on the field? Anyways, all right, so now that we talked about a really good deck, let's talk about a really bad deck in real life. So, I hate to say it. Newhin, you don't need that. You don't need it. I would say run some Solemns though for sure. If you're gonna make this, you can take this into. If you're gonna take this into YGO, don't use some of those cards I told you, or I told you what cards not to use that you can remove. So this is the Egyptian God card deck. Unfortunately, this deck is fucking garbage because like the support they gave it is not bad, but it's not enough to run a deck. And I run all three in one deck because I have the card sleeve. I love the Egyptian God cards, I do, but they are not good. They are not good right now. Their support is not good enough to run a deck. I'm getting rid of Ra's Disciples at some point. Ra's Disciple fucking sucks. Eldritch, Mango's saying that, but I'll talk about these cards right now. Hang on, I'm going to separate out a little bit. Give me a second. There's a lot more cards here I have to run because this is basically a rogue deck. I have Solemn Strike in this deck? Didn't realize I had that. This deck is better than my one in YGO in my personal opinion, but we'll talk about it. Egyptian gods do not have infinite attack, no. They do not, sadly. That would make them... The god cards are not bad. Like, by themselves, they're not bad. It's that they don't work well in a deck, because unlike the Sacred Beast that can fucking sneeze, as you saw, and summon their entire board, when you summon a god card, unless you have the perfect hand imaginable, and I'm going to talk about some cards I'm missing that makes this deck better, but I would still argue not that good, even though I love this deck. It's just, you lose so much value. That fucking deck puts you back at 4 cards normally. You run god cards, you're going to be stuck at 1 to 2 cards after you're done. It's fucking terrible, man. They deserve better. No other cards, Divine Beast. It's not even like you can chain them with other support. Oh, man, I'm so fucking mad. Dude, if the god cards got even a fraction of the Sacred Beast support, oh my god, they would be so much better. God, run your Regekis, of course. I'll show you the MVP of this deck in a moment, as soon as I'm done spraying out the cards. This is my real life deck. It can be improved probably. I'm also going to recommend some changes myself that I might buy in the future, but I spent 3 digits in Yu-Gi-Oh cards over the past 2 weeks, so I am not buying Yu-Gi-Oh cards anytime fucking soon. I don't want to talk about how much I spent. I got addicted again. Thankfully, I did get some money. Red Eyes has better support now. Red Eyes is just a shitty archetype still, unless Devil wants to step up and try and defend Red Eyes again. It has its merits. It's just like, why would you run Red Eyes? Honestly. Wonder. Wow, Fabian. Wow. You're a nerd. Dude, there are so many. Dude, oh my god, there's so many god cards here. Holy shit. Why are there so many fucking cards in this deck? Good god. Dude, like, I'm using like the entire half of the fucking table already. Holy shit. Did you buy the pack? No, we looked through it. Me and Mateo, we were talking about it. Unfortunately, the pack does have some good stuff, but like nothing I don't already have coming in the mail or something like that, unfortunately. Thank you, though, for letting me know. Appreciate it. All right. There's so much. You gotta run your 4 tokens, of course. You literally said I had supports you wanted? Yeah, but then I ordered cards for, like, new decks, and I got the support I wanted from it through the ordering cards. Okay. There's so much here. Earthbound, their god, who have more potential deck. Earthbounds fucking suck. Even by comparison to the god cards, they're terrible. Okay. There are so many cards here. Holy shit. Okay. I guess I don't even know where to start. Alright, I'll start with the more generic support. Regeki. Regeki is now limited to 3. I have 3 Regekis. I'm running 2 in this deck. It just blows up your opponent's side of the field. There's not much else to it. Good single support card. Monster Reborn. Revive any monster. This does work on Obelisk and Slifer. They will die at the end of the turn. Does not work on Raw. Fuck Raw. Piece of shit. Motherfucker needs 20 fucking cards to work like a decent fucking card. You fucking garbage ass worthless piece of shit. Moving on. Draw of Fate. This card right here is if your LP is lower than your opponent's, if you're running this deck, you're going to get hit a lot. And your opponent controls a monster with the highest attack, that's going to happen a lot in this deck. Have any you or any one of you tried playing a Yu-Gi-Oh deck against a Pokemon deck? No. I don't even think it's possible to run it that way. Reveal 3 cards with different names from your deck. Place them on top of your deck in random order, then draw 1 card. For the rest of this turn, after this card resolves, you cannot set spells or traps. Also, you can only activate 1 more card or effect. So basically, with this card, let's say you're using Threatening Roar. Play Threatening Roar down first. Activate this card. It lets you search 3 different named cards. There are combinations you can do in this deck. None of them are going to be that good. But if you do that, you get to draw 1, and then you can activate 1 more effect. So, not bad. And I run it at 1, but honestly, I did buy 3 of these. I might run more than 1. But honestly, I don't think you'll be able to get this off more than 1, even if you do get 1. So I don't know if you really want to run 3 for consistency to play this card often, because you're limited to 1 card effect afterwards. It's not bad, but I don't really think it's a card you really want to play set of, because it only works in a specific scenario. Just 1 of, I think, is fine. So, Foolish Burial. Send 1 monster from your deck to the graveyard. You're going to want to combo Foolish Burial into Phoenix mode for the Winged Dragon of Ra. Specifically because Phoenix mode can only be summoned from the fucking graveyard. And only works if Ra gets sent to the graveyard from the fucking field. So you have to summon this worthless piece of shit, hope this is in your deck, then you get a decent fucking Ra. Trash. Alright. Yeah, it's unaffected by all cards in the game, so it's just a free 4K bait stick. It can destroy, I think, as many cards as you want. Let me see. Yeah. No, it's just, you send 1 monster. Never mind, that's actually a lot better. You can pay 1,000 life points, send 1 monster from the deck to the graveyard, or from the monster field to the graveyard. This will work on everything. So it does work on, like, fucking Mangler's fucking, hang on, heard something fall over there. It does work on Mangler's, like, fucking Chaos Max bullshit. So keep that in mind. Creebles will win all. So this is a really good God card, really good card across the board, very strong. And after the end phase, when it's summoned, it does Pure Obelisk Tormentor, Pure Slifer Sky Dragon, who is the better God deck. I'm gonna say Obelisk because Obelisk runs more generic God card support and more rogue based support. Slifer does have an archetype now with the King, Queen, and Jack card, but if you were watching last night's stream, just come back from lunch and you're yelling, "Oh, I was right with the." But if you have played fucking, by the way, are you planning on getting the new fusion spell for the Blue Eyes that's coming soon? I might, depending on how much it costs. Dude, guys, I spent 3 figures, like a 3-digit number on Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Thankfully, I did get 2 decks, but 3 digits. Fucking PTSD over fucking here. My fucking addiction came back hard. Anyways, yeah, no. So, pretty solid archetype across the board. No, this archetype is shit. Pretty solid card. Once it is sent to the graveyard, though, it sends itself at the end phase of the turn it's summoned. It does 4 digits. Real fan does 4 digits? Fuck that. I guess I will be fine not being a real fan. It does summon Spear Mode back onto the field to recycle into a second Winged Dragon of Ra. So basically, what Spear Mode does, I guess we'll talk about Spear Mode very quickly before we talk about Ring Dragon of Ra. Or no, let's talk about Ring Dragon of Ra real quickly. So Ring Dragon of Ra, you summon it onto the field, has no protection whatsoever. If you don't summon it with Spear Mode, you have to sacrifice all your life points but 100 in order to give it attack power of 7,900. And it can be destroyed in the easiest way imaginable. No protection, no targeting safety. But if you have an extra 1,000 life points, you can destroy 1 face-up monster on the field. It doesn't even send like its better version. It's the worst God card by itself. It's so fucking bad that Konami had to make 6 to 7 support cards just for this one trash-ass God card. And I love his art. I love this God card. I will always run it with a God card deck, but it is the worst one of the 3 by fucking far. But let's talk about the support that makes it good. So Spear Mode tributes 3 of your opponent's monsters, which means it gets over things like Mangler's Chaos Max. And like it can't be tributed, it can't be targeted or destroyed by card effects. Or let me see, let me confirm that. Cannot attack. Your opponent cannot target this card with attacks or by card effects. You can tribute this card, especially one Wing Dragon of Raw from hand or deck. Yeah. I think it can be tributed, actually. I think I might have been wrong earlier when I was playing with my friend, because he asked if it can be tributed. I said it couldn't. I think you can tribute this. Newhan, do you know if you can tribute this card? Like, if you give it to your opponent, can they tribute this? I'm not sure, because I thought it couldn't be tributed. That's worth looking into. It does summon the Winged Dragon of Ra when it comes back to your side of the field at 4K. No. You tribute it from your opponent's side, but can this card be tributed by your opponent? Because I thought it couldn't. I've never seen anyone tribute it, but I don't think it restricts tribute. It says you can tribute this card, especially on one Winged Dragon of Ra from your hand or deck, ignoring so many conditions. If you do, its attack and defense becomes 4,000. Yeah, I don't think you can tribute this. Basically, this gives Yu-Gi-Oh! Hey, Goku, if you wanted to use Spirit Bomb, you should have just had used this card. Fucking Yugi's about to tribute fucking Goku's entire life out of existence. So this card right here makes the Winged Dragon of Ra better because you don't have to sacrifice life points to give it attack power. It gives it 4K stats, attack and defense, matching Obelisk. But Obelisk is still better. But if you do have Phoenix Mode in the graveyard, this is a good combo, and Phoenix Mode does recycle this. But you can only special summon from the deck. This card doesn't special summon from your hand or deck. So you want to either recycle the Winged Dragon of Ra consistently. Monster Reincarnation can help with that. Or you just kind of like brick, more or less. It can't be targeted for attacks, so it can't protect you, or by card effects, but blanket attacks will destroy it. So, not bad. That's good. But it can't be summoned with Ra's Disciple, which is kind of why I want to get rid of Ra's Disciple, because there are new Angel support cards that came in Obelisk and Slifer's structure decks that might be better than Ra's Disciple overall. So Ra's Disciple, you summon one of them, you summon all 3 in the same turn, and they can only be tributed for an Egyptian God card. But only specifically the base version of Winged Dragon of Ra, base Obelisk, and base Slifer. They cannot be tributed for Spear Mode. Only people use Winged Dragon of Ra, Spear Mode as a hand trap. Oh yeah, it works great. It's like honestly, it's good, but you need 3 on your opponent's side of the field. So honestly, just run Kaijus. I think they're cheaper too. Like some of the Kaijus are cheaper. This card right here, it's unique. I like it because it's part of the archetype, but that's all I like it for. It's not very good on its own. I'm thinking of replacing it. I run 1 day apiece. Both players draw 1 card, and you don't take battle damage for another turn. Enough said there. Oh, I only run card events at 2? You know what? I want to check and see about third card events later, because I should be running card events at 3 along with a true name. True name at 2, card events at 3 for sure. Anyways, I run 2 Twin Twisters for now because when I was playing my friend's Dark Magician deck, his back row was kicking my ass, so I just put 2 Twin Twisters in there. Not necessary, but Twin Twisters should proc Mountain of the Bound Creator. We'll talk about Mountain of the Bound Creator right now. This isn't necessary. You can run anything instead of this. I do recommend some spell popping though for sure. This deck does not have a lot of spell popping outside of one other card we'll talk about. So Mountain of the Bound Creator, you heard me gushing over the field spell for the Sacred Beast for like 40 minutes. Mountain of the Bound Creator is roughly the same thing. I will not be streaming later, by the way, just letting you know. But level 10 or higher monsters on your field cannot be targeted or destroyed by card effects. If a level 10 or higher monster on the field destroys a monster at battle and sends it to the graveyard, the player who controls the destroyed monster takes 1,000 damage. So this works for both sides of the field. Where is Skill Drain? I would not run Skill Drain in this deck, although, you know what? I should probably start running Skill Drain. But Skill Drain actually fucks over Slifer. Skill Drain fucks over Slifer and Raw pretty hard. It would only work well with Obelisk. If you're running a pure Obelisk deck, maybe run Skill Drain. Does not work with the other God cards. When this card on the field is destroyed by a card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can add one divine monster from your deck to your hand. So honestly, it is a searcher for divine cards, but you have to pop it, which is garbage, and that forces you to run shit like Twin Twister, so you can pop one card on your opponent's side and your fucking field spell. So you have to pop your own fucking protection to get a decent fucking searcher in this deck, and it's fucking infuriating because it has to pop. You can't just put a second one on top of it. You have to destroy it by card effect. You can't just fucking put a new one and send it to the graveyard. Oh man, it's so fucking bad. Not now, maybe later. Again, like, the problem is that Skill Drain doesn't work well with, like, Slifer and Raw. It would only work well with Obelisk. Slifer gets 1,000 attack for every card in your hand. Any special summon monster or normal summon monster in your opponent's field gets a $2,000 cup check. If they fail, they get destroyed. If they don't fail, they lose 2,000 attack regardless. Honestly, best God card if you have a complete board. Alright, so we're getting a little further along the line. Let's go ahead and start working on some of the more specific cards now. We're almost there. Let's go. Actually, no, hang on. We got some more generics. Threatening Roar. Your opponent cannot conduct battle phase. I used to run 3. I run 2 right now. I'm probably going to go back to 3 because it protects my deck so much. Solemn Strike. Very simple. Generic. When your opponent special summons, when an opponent's monster will be special summoned or a monster effect is activated, pay 1,500 LP, negate the summoner activation if you do destroy that card. Honestly, Solemn Strike's kind of shit. I'm thinking Solemn Warning, not Judgment. I think the 2,000 one is better for this deck. I only have this one because it's the only one I have. And I haven't bought more Solemn cards. Let's see right here. Oh, here we go. So we'll start getting a little more specific. So Reactor Slime is pretty good. It summons 2 tokens. I'm thinking about buying 2 more of these and running them at 3 at some point to get rid of Raw's Disciple. Much better card. The tokens are not restricted to any summons or links. The only thing is you cannot special summon you cannot normal or special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except Divine Beast monsters. So this literally has the restriction of Divine Beast, but not a specific God card. So you can chain this in Spear mode, assuming you have Spear mode to sponge summon. So if this card goes into your battle phase, you can summon a Metal Reflect Slime. Dude, now when I think about it, what is Otardo? That was like the boss of the God cards, and you could summon and have the 3 God cards. Hulkat is not in the game. I'm gonna run 2 more of these, but this card is missing Egyptian God Slime. And honestly, even though I've gotten some financial aid, I am not ever again paying $30 for a fucking card, because I paid $30 back in the day for fucking Spear mode. Got reprinted like 6 months later. Pain. Barrett runs several copies of Crackdown. Whatever the fuck a Crackdown is. Bro, what the fuck, $30 for one card? I've learned my lesson, Newman. I've learned my lesson. Shut up, I was in college. I didn't know better. I've learned from my mistakes as a young man. 3 Divine Evolution. It gives 1,000 attack and defense to any God card and gives them the effect that if you do activate this, is Floodgate Trap Hole non-negotiable? They're playing as opposed to Solemn Strike. Oh, I'll consider it. So this card's activation effect cannot be negated. This is a great steroid for God cards, but it has no fucking searcher. And you can only stack 1 per God card! Activate by targeting 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. Take control of that monster. That's pretty good already. So this right here can also work on the Wicked Gods. While your monster cannot attack or activate when that monster is in the field, destroy that card. That's pretty good actually. I'll keep that in mind. That actually sounds pretty good. Divine Evolution can work on the Wicked Gods. The Wicked Gods have great effects. I'd argue they're also better than Sacred Beasts. 0 support, period. Except for this. This is the only support they have. I'm thinking of running the Wicked Gods in an Obelisk deck just to fuck around, but we'll see what happens. That works, so can't comment. So this card just gives 1,000 attack to any Egyptian God card, 1,000 attack and defense. Works on any of these Egyptian gods or fucking the divine gods or the fucking wicked gods. And its activated effect cannot be negated. When this card, so I play it on Obelisk, when Obelisk attacks, you can make your opponent send one monster they control from your deck to the graveyard. So let's say Mangler runs his bitch-ass Chaos Dragon, and I happen to have this card in Obelisk. Mangler has to send his Chaos Dragon to the graveyard because he cannot negate this card at all. Obelisk Tormentor cannot be targeted by card, spell, or monster effects whatsoever. Once per turn, if it was in the end phase, for all God cards sent to the graveyard. We'll talk about that later. You contribute 2 monsters, destroy all monsters your opponent controls. This card cannot declare an attack the turn this happens. This effect on Obelisk sucks ass, except for its own protection. However, in order to make the God cards better, they decided to add 3 spell cards to the game that give them anime effects, more or less. Now, personally, I only run 1 Blaze Cannon, but I will talk about Blaze Cannon very briefly. You target you use this on the Winged Dragon of Ra. This card's activation effect cannot be negated. It has 3 effects. When you activate this card, the Winged Dragon of Ra is not affected by any card effects, period. It cannot be destroyed, cannot be blocked, cannot be nothing. You can't stop it at all. It will just keep going and destroy. When an attack is declared involving this card, you contribute any number of other monsters that do not declare an attack this turn. This card gains attack equal to the tribute of monsters combined original attack until the end of this turn. So let's say you summon Winged Dragon of Ra 4K and you have like, I don't know, fucking all 3 Ra's Disciple. Winged Dragon of Ra is like, fuck you guys, you're working for me now. Then Winged Dragon of Ra gains 7,300 attack. If you did put Divine Evolution on it, it will have 8,300 attack. Is Floodgate Trap Hole non-negotiable? There are trap cards here you can easily remove for sure. Blaze Cannon, pretty solid across the board. Add damage calculation, discard attack. You send all monsters your opponent controls to the graveyard. So after it deals damage at all, or after just damage calculation is varied, even if there's no damage, you can wipe out your opponent's entire board. I run it at 1, might run it at 2, but it's not that good of an effect. I don't even think I have a second one, actually. I don't think I've ordered it. Fist of Fate. You use this on... This card's activation effect cannot be negated. All these God card support cards cannot be activated or negated, except for maybe the trap card. I'll talk about the trap card right now, as soon as I'm done with this one, or as soon as I'm done with the Slifer one. So, negate the effects of one effect monster on the field. This is non-targetable. Monster opponent controls, and if you do, destroy it, and if you do that, for the rest of this turn, the effects of that monster are negated, including in the graveyard or in your hand, as well as the activated effects and effects of the field monsters with the same original name. Then, if you activate this card during your main phase, destroy all spell and trap cards your opponent controls. So, you summon Obelisk, you play one of these, destroy 1 monster, because again, you can't stop its negation at all, because it doesn't target, and you can't respond to this card. It negates your card, then destroys your entire back row, including your field spell. Next up, Thunder Force Attack. The same thing as Obelisk. Cannot be negated. You have to control an original Slifer the Sky Dragon. Destroy as many face-up monsters your opponent controls as possible. Then, if you activate this card during your main phase, you can apply this effect. This does not negate card effects or anything. It's just as many cards as your opponent controls face up, as many monsters. Draw cards equal to the number of monsters destroyed by this effect and sent to your opponent's graveyard. Also, you can only attack with 1 monster this turn. Is that a good deck? I'm not sure. I think it's fine, but I don't think it's like tier 1 or anything. So you destroy several of your opponent's face-up monsters, or is it just monsters they control? Yeah, face-up monsters, and you draw a card for every face-up monster. If you activate this during your main phase, then you can attack once with just Slifer. Not the best card, but not the worst. I do think, if we're talking about the cards that won the support battle, I think Obelisk's support card is the best one by far. God cards did receive a Soul Crossing. This card is actually insanely good for God cards. During the main phase, immediately after this effect resolves, tribute summon 1 Divine Beast monster. If you do, you can tribute a monster, / monsters, or parentheses monsters your opponent controls, even though you do not control them. But if you tribute summon this way, apply this effect. Until the end of the next turn after this card resolves, you can only activate 1 card or effect per turn, not counting the effects of Divine Beast monsters. So, you play this card, summon Obelisk, you use Obelisk spell, hit for fucking 4K, Next turn, you can use another only one card per turn. Just use fucking Threatening Roar. Boom, you're done. You can tribute your opponent's monsters along with your own. Works with any divine card except for fucking Phoenix. And yeah. All right, so we're kind of getting close to the end here now. We only have 5 cards left to talk about for my deck. Time to talk about the MVP. It's your boy, your homeboy Scapegoat. You place it face down. It gets flipped up. Summons 4 tokens. What else can I say? It's fucking perfection. The only thing I would say that would make this card a little better is if you just needed to summon it to summon the 5 tokens or 4 tokens. But you know what? You gotta restrict greatness a little bit. Scapegoat, fucking fantastic. Maybe I should run a fucking card that flips them up, but fuck the Book of the Sun. Phoenix is the only good version of Ra in this game. Anyways, my homeboy Scapegoat. All my homies love Scapegoat. Now, now I run Scapegoat, I combo him with the Crush Card Virus. Because when Scapegoat gets flipped up, they're like, I'm going to destroy it. No, you're not, because I get to play Crush Card Virus. If you don't know what Crush Card Virus does, I'll read it real quickly to explain why I run it. Tribute 1 dark monster with 1,000 or less attack. Your opponent takes no damage until the end of their next turn after his card resolves. Also, you look at your opponent's hand and all monsters they control, and if you do, destroy the monsters among them with 1,500 or more attack. Then your opponent can destroy up to 3 monsters with 1,500 or more attack in their deck. So, the second effect is kind of shit, but it clears out your opponent's field, makes Scapegoat a little more valuable, and you get to see what your opponent's hand is. Is the Wicked Avatar better than every God card? No, but I do want to run Wicked Avatar with my God card deck to some extent. I'm going to try it out on Master Duel first, though. So, the fact that they can choose what monsters to send fucking sucks because they can set up plays, but it's not that bad. It's actually really good. I am here a lot longer than I thought I was going to be. Holy shit. That's fine. I'm not streaming tonight. Next up, we have the True Name. You call the next card in your deck. I'm not going to play test this deck. It's not going to work. You played the True Name, you call the next card in your deck correctly, and you can either special summon a God card or add a God card to your hand. Works on any divine monster, or you can just special summon it. So this is actually a really good card if you're a fucking fortune teller who can see the fucking future. But when you do get it off, it is nice. So you run Card Advance, because Card Advance lets you look at the top 5 cards of your deck and put them in any order you want. Whatever card you call it the True Name, you add to your hand, and you get the God card search or special summon. So you run this card to make this card usable, unless you fucking, I don't know, run Maya's Perfume technique from the fucking anime. The last card I want to talk about is Ultimate Divine Beast, one of the last supports in the deck, for the most part, that came with the structure deck. When your opponent's monster declares an attack, you can discard 1 spell or trap card, then target 1 Divine Beast monster in your graveyard, special summon it during the end phase. If you control Divine Beast monster, you can destroy all face-up cards your opponent controls that activate their effects on the field this turn. So, not that good, but not that bad. I wish it was a little better, like just in general. I think I played this wrong earlier with my friends, so that kind of sucks. But you can only use each effect of Ultimate Divine Beast once per turn. If you're running a deck that if they're running a deck that uses a lot of effects, it is good. It does work on Obelisk, so you can always get Obelisk onto the field as long as they declare an attack. It does keep you alive. I wish it had a little. I wish all these cards had a little more oomph behind them, since there's so little consistency in this deck. Especially with Sacred Beast. You guys saw my Sacred Beast earlier. Here, you know what? Just for shits and giggles, I will show you a starting hand of the God card deck to show you just how badly this bricks. If we're lucky, we might have an actual play. I don't think we will, but we'll see what happens. Now, there are extra deck monsters that might make this better, and there is Egyptian God Slime, which makes this deck a lot better. How many cards do you have? Probably like over 600, but I only use like 200. I don't like a lot of cards. I don't like a lot of archetypes. Hard hand trap deck beats every God card deck? Bro, fuck, no, it would, no, there's so much, like, unless you got fucking 3 hand traps in your hand, I still think Sacred Beast will probably be most hand trap decks. Alright, let's see what we get. The 5 cards. How could this happen to me? Okay, so not the worst hand. This is actually not a bad hand to actually get with the God card deck. We got a 1 Day of Peace, a Threatening Roar, a Card Advance, a Scapegoat. Fuck this card. So, with One Day Apiece, let's play it. One Day Apiece is played. Soul Crossing, again, no usable god card. If this card can be tribute summoned normally, even if it was sent to the graveyard at the end of the turn, fucking perfection. So let's play card advance. Let's see what we get. Top 5 cards in my deck. Okay, hang on. We might have something here. So we got card advance. These are our top 5 cards of my deck. We are safe for 1 turn thanks to One Day Apiece, so we can play it safely. Unfortunately, we have no actual true name, but we do have Obelisk. Obelisk was there, so we put Obelisk on top of our deck. I would put, honestly, probably card advance second. I'll probably put Threatening Roar second, then card advance. So next, we honestly, depending on what our opponent does for next turn, we can just play Soul Crossing into Obelisk to get Obelisk on the field. But again, we have no field spell because there's no way to fucking search it. Because you can only use 1 terraforming, and even then, it's not fucking worth it. Or we can play Scapegoats face down, hope our opponent doesn't pop it. And if they don't pop it, well, then we can use those tributes to summon Obelisk for free without wasting our Soul Crossing. But we have no way to draw. We have no draw power, so we're not going to mill through our deck fast enough. Fist of Fate is the 6th card down, so we could actually do something, and True Name is the 7th card down. So actually, we could play... Hang on. Let me try that real quickly. Let me just try real quickly. Okay, so what do we have on the field? We had... It is possible with the 2nd card advance to get the True Name in the Fist of Fate to summon a 2nd god card on the field, but I only run 1 Obelisk. But if I ran 2, that wouldn't be that bad of a play. But then, like, our opponent can just get over it, like, super easily because I don't have a field spell to protect them. So you could make some plays happen. It's a lot easier to get the god cards out, but Sacred Beasts have protection 99% of the time. These don't have protection 99% of the time. In fact, they have protection fucking never half the time. So yeah, not exactly the best thing in the world, but not exactly the worst. Actually, they might be one of the worst decks in the game, but with the new support, they are better. Would Upstart Goblin be good or too slow of a card? Too slow of a card. I'm getting some pot of extravagances coming in the mail. I might try them out on the God card deck and see if they can make the consistency a little possible. I don't think they will, because again, like, there's no searching for Mound of the Bound Creator. You guys saw with the Sacred Beast, if you were here, that the Sacred Beast every 2 seconds was searching their field spell and their cards directly. The God cards need a searcher like that. Even if we just got 1 or 2, not the 7 Sacred Beasts have. No, they have like 5. But like, if we just got 1 or 2 of those cards that searched, that would be amazing. That would be something. That would make that deck. Whew. The fucked up part is based on the God card support setup. If it's not generic God card support, like was most of Raw's deck, and most of Raw's support's still kind of shit, with the exception of its XYZ. With the exception of it's not XYZ, it's Fusion Monster. I'm gonna be honest with you. The next support we're due for God cards is Obelisk. Because Raw got support, then came the deck boxes for Slifer and Obelisk. Then Slifer got archetype support with the King, Queen, and Jack cards. So, while I kind of hate this for pure God cards, more likely than not, the next set of Obelisk support will be Blue Eyes focused, which means I can finally run Blue Eyes with Obelisk and not make it a fucking meme. Unless Kaiba has a 2nd archetype I'm not familiar with. Alright. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, Zim, why haven't you shown off an extra deck? I don't run extra decks with those cards. Maybe if I ran an extra deck, the God card deck will be a little better. I'm going to try Pot of Extravagance. Pot of Prosperity costs too much fucking money. That's fucking... Oh, that's sugar daddy money you fucking need. So... Blue Eyes, this is my Blue Eyes deck. It's not the best. It's missing a few cards, and there is a new Blue Eyes monster. Not even a new support. I think it's called Deep of Blue Eye, or Deep of Eyes of Blue, or Deep of Blue Eyes. Mangler might know what the card is. It facilitates Ritual and Fusion Summon as a monster. It's 8 stars, I think, so it's really good. Well, watch, Mangler's gonna see my Blue Eyes right now. He's gonna be like, gross. Where's all your Ritual support? Anyways, let me split this up real quickly. The Blue Eyes deck shouldn't be too difficult to talk about. This is a pretty basic Blue Eyes deck. It is missing a few cards though, so if it sounds like I'm not running enough of one specific card, they are probably coming in the mail. I run pure Blue Eyes, by the way, so I do not run like a lot of extra cards from other archetypes. I don't run Dangers or anything. So you can do other things to make this deck a lot more consistent. I just choose not to because I'm a purist when I play this game, and I only really play pure archetypes for the most part. There is a few randoms here, but nothing like not crazy consistent, not crazy randoms or anything like that, because I am a degenerate. Sure, let's go put that there. I will talk about another trap card that's out right now. It's called the True Light or something like that. It's like Eternal Soul. I'll talk about why I don't run it, why I haven't bought it. But it just doesn't seem that good. I'll have to watch some YouTube videos to see if it's good or not. But there is one support that's out there that I do not run in this deck currently at the moment. This your third deck showcase? This is my third deck showcase. Yeah. Oh my goodness, I have been here for so long already. Holy shit. This was only supposed to take like 40. This was only gonna take like 40 minutes, I thought, but I keep talking about the fucking cards too much. I keep giving too many details. Ridiculous. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with Dragon Shrine. You don't need to run this. I'm getting rid of this card pretty soon once I get my Bingo Machine Go. So if you're running Master Duel, don't run this. Run Bingo Machine Go. Not worth. Dude, what? What? Why are you at 2? The fuck? The fuck? Oh, there you are. I just saw a card that I know I have 3 of at 2, and I'm like, the fuck? I know I run you at 3. Anyways, so Dragon Shrine, you send 1 dragon monster from your deck to the graveyard. I run a Blue Eyes Revival Engine. So you are a JRL token of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. So I run the Revival Engine. So if you run Dragon Shrine, send Blue Eyes to the graveyard. Then you can send the White Stone of Ancients. During the end phase, this special summons a card, and you can special summon Blue Eyes with my Revival Engine pretty easily. So it does have good combo support. I might keep 1. I don't know, but it's definitely a card. I used to run 2. I axed it because I am running Bingo Machine Go in the future, and I don't really think it's gonna be necessary with Bingo Machine Go. Fucking. I hope English not watching. He's gonna be like gross. Monster Reborn. I didn't run this in God. I do have Monster Reborn in God cards, right? I think I mentioned Monster Reborn there. If not, I need to put one in there because Monster Reborn is just a generic revival card. It's great. Unfortunately, Monster Reborn only works on cards that were either sent to the graveyard from your deck or cards that were special or summoned. Because in the fucking Master Duel, when they negated my summon, I couldn't use Monster Reborn on my negated summon card. So if the summon gets negated, I guess it negates Monster Reborn too for some reason, even though it's in the graveyard. I don't really understand how that ruling works, but just fair warning. What else? White Stone of Legend, 1 of, gets sent to the graveyard. And you get to add 1 Blue Eyes White Dragon to your hand. Not really necessary, but I kind of like it because I run 2 cards of Consonance, which I recently added to my deck. I might get rid of them when I get Bingo Machine Go, though. We'll see what happens. I'll talk about cards of Consonance right now after I explain the White Stone of Ancients, because I mentioned it earlier. The White Stone of Ancients is very simple. It gets sent to the graveyard, and during the end phase, you get to special summon 1 Blue Eyes monster from your deck, and if you banish it from your graveyard, you can add 1 Blue Eyes monster from your graveyard to your hand. You can only use it 1 at a time. It's super good for searching, super good for recycling, and it's just a really good tuner as well. So it's perfect value because it can get you into your extra deck. If you run cards of Consonance with it, you don't even have to put it on the field. Cards of Consonance lets you tribute 1 level 1 Dragon Tuner or discard 1 Dragon Tuner with 1,000 or less attack, draw 2 cards. The 4 eggs I have in my deck do fall under this, so I can send this to the graveyard to draw 2, so it's a plus, I think it's a +2, I think it's a +1 play, because Graceful Tear is the best cardinal. I'm pretty sure this, Mangler can correct me, but I'm pretty sure doing this is a +1 play, because even though you're not getting 3 cards in your hand, you're getting 2 cards in your hand for the cost of 2 cards, and you're getting a special summon. So I'm pretty sure this is a +1 play, but I could be wrong on that. Either way, I'm going to call it +1. Fuck you. All right. Next up, let's go over Melody Awakening Dragon. Basically, you discard one card, and you can add 2 dragons with 3,000 or more attack or 2,500 defense from your deck to your hand. Basically, blue eye stats or blue eye stats and defense is less. So it basically searches every dragon in your deck. I don't think there are... the only dragons it doesn't search, unironically, are the other blue eyes monsters that are 2,500. But honestly, you can get those out pretty easily. This is mainly just to search out your Chaos Maxes or your alternatives. So, Blue Eyes Red Dragon, 3,000 beat stick, no effects, not important. Blue Eyes Alternative Dragon, if you have a Blue Eyes monster in your hand, reveal the Blue Eyes monster, special summon alternative, same stats, counts as a Blue Eyes White Dragon completely in name, and has the effect that it can pop one card on the field, and it does not affect your normal summon. So this is just better Blue Eyes. I only run 2. I believe this card is at $15. I don't plan on buying a third one because I am running a more Chaos Max focused engine, even though I'm not running Mangler's fucking bullshit ass support. Oh, I run a book and pen and paper. I run a candle. Anyways, so yeah, alternative, pretty good. Helps get your XYZ engine out. Pretty solid. Honestly, technically you should run 3 alternatives, but I don't really feel like buying a third one because 2 is consistent enough. 2 Blue Eyes though. Blue Eyes is cheap as fuck. Burst Stream of Destruction, not needed in this deck. I run it specifically for the meme. If you control Blue Eyes White Dragon, destroy all monsters your opponent controls. Raigeki is also run here. Another board wipe that's not related to Blue Eyes White Dragon. Blue Eyes Solid. Honestly, real talk, if I have a 4th Raigeki, I might just get rid of fucking Burst Stream of Destruction for a 2nd Raigeki. Oh, fuck, I should have thought about that. Should have bought another one. Blue Eyes Solid Dragon, 8-star monster, so it works with traded, but 3 is the magic number. However, what this does is when you normal special summon it, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls and negate its effects. When your opponent controls it or activates a card or effect, quick effect, you can shuffle this card from your field into the deck, and if you do, special summon one Blue Eyes White Dragon from your deck. So, just pure Blue Eyes deck, you only use 1 or 2 the alternative dragon. Then yeah, I'll just run 2. This card, not as good. It's not good, really, for the most part. Like, I like it, but honestly, if I had the Deep of Eyes of Blue, or like the new support that helps rituals out, or fusions, I'd be running that instead. Good negate, but honestly, very replaceable, especially in Master Duels, so you don't have to worry about spending money. Trade-in, very simple to understand. Tribute a level 8 dragon monster. That's all your dragon monsters in this deck. All your Blue Eyes is 8. I think even the Deep of Eyes of Blue or Deep of Blue Eyes is 8 as well, 8-star. So basically, you just get 2 cards for the cost of 1 Blue Eyes. And if you have Return of the Dragon Lords like I do, or you run a Revival engine like I do, it's just pure value across the board. Okay, so Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon. You can hear Mangler sing its praises all day if you want. Basically, cannot be targeted or destroyed by your opponent's card effects. If this card attacks the defense position monster, inflict all piercing battle damage to your opponent. 4K beat stick, 0 defense, insanely good card. And I think once you normal ritual summon it the first time, I don't know if this works through Revival Engine. Mangler, are you still here? Can you revive this card after you ritual summon it once or no? Oh no, Dragon Spirit of White is great. I'll talk about. In fact, while waiting for Mangler to respond, if he's there, Dragon Spirit of White, special summon it, banish any spell and trap card on the field, and then or your opponent controls, which is the only one you're going to want to focus on. During your player's turn, you can, if your opponent controls a monster, you can tribute this card special on Blue Eyes White Dragon. So basically, what you want to do, you summon it, you attack a low level opponent's monster. If he has a second low level, tribute it for a second attack on the Blue Eyes White Dragon. Not the best, but it does count as a normal monster in the graveyard, so you can summon it with Silver's Cry. Very good stuff. Is Mangler here? White Stone of Ancients work on Spirit of White? Yeah, White Stone of Ancients would summon Dragon Spirit of White. Dude, Dragon Spirit of... Honestly, this is your best search target with White Stone of Ancients. This is your best search target, because this will banish a spell card on the field. Mangler, where are you? Okay, well, we're gonna leave this alone for now, because I don't know if Chaos Max works the way I think it does with that Revival engine. Chaos Form. Just to summon Chaos Max. It's a ritual card. Tribute 1 level 8 Blue Eyes White Dragon. So you must also tribute from your hand or field and or banish Blue Eyes White Dragon or Dark Magician from your graveyard, whose total exact levels equals level of Chaos or Blacklist Soldier ritual monster you summon. This is 8 stars. So basically, you just banish 1 Blue Eyes monster or Blue Eyes White Dragon from your graveyard. You get this for free. No diff. I'm going to run 3 of these in my deck, see how it turns out. I did want to make a fusion-based Blue Eyes deck, but Ritual is cheaper, and Blue Eyes' fusion summon is coming out pretty soon. I mean, it's always fun to play variations, but Ritual and Fusion are Blue Eyes' more advanced forms. Mangler, do you know if... Okay, can someone just look up if Chaos Max can be summoned with fucking Return of the Dragon Lords or some shit? Maiden with Eyes of Blue, I only run 1 of in this deck because of its consistency purposes. If it gets targeted by effects, it can special summon a Blue Eyes. If it gets attacked, it can put itself defense position, special summon Blue Eyes by Dragon. Really just running it for the waifu and pureness. I run Maiden. I also run Priestess with Eyes of Blue. It searches blue... Why did I take out Majesty? Okay, Don't remember removing Majesty from this deck at any point. Whatever, searches 2 Blue Eyes cards. Yeah, 1 is targeted. Silver's Cry, special summons a Blue Eyes monster. Only the Ritual, only Ritual summon can summon Chaos Max. Okay, thank you. This just summons any normal dragon type from your deck. Return the Dragon Lords. Target 1 level 7 or 8 dragon monster in your graveyard, special summon it. Not quick play like Silver's Cry, so it can't be used on your opponent's turn. If a dragon monster you control be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. So protection, test 10. I'll show you a test 10 afterwards. And protection and revive, pretty solid. The Ultimate Creature of Destruction, again, I do not run the True Light because it only works on Blue Eyes White Dragon, and it doesn't work as well as Dark Magician because it doesn't make your cards unaffected by card effects. Holy shit, it's about to be 6 o'clock. Wow, I've been here close to 2 hours now, good lord. This just makes your Blue Eyes unaffected by any card effects, period, and it can't be destroyed by battle as well. Yeah. Also, any opponent's monster at battles is destroyed at the end of the damage step. If this card's in your graveyard and you special summon Blue Eyes, and then you special summon Blue Eyes White Dragon or normal summon it, you can set this card. So you send it to the graveyard, special summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon from like the graveyard, revive it. This card comes back. Been here a while already. Sage with Eyes of Blue. You target one of your level 1 tuners like Maiden. Send it to the graveyard, and if you do, you can special summon any Blue Eyes monster. You can almost summon it to find any level 1 tuner monster for, like, light tuner monster, if I recall correctly. Your best combo with this, if I'm being honest, hit it on Maiden, and then Maiden summons Blue Eyes White Dragon, and you summon Dragon Spirit of White or some shit with this, or one of the other cards, and it'll just work out fine. Again, like, there is a Blue Eyes monster I don't have that I'm pretty sure will make this deck a lot better. I just don't have it, because it costs 20 bucks a card, and I don't really feel like paying that. Protector with Eyes of Blue, combo to the Maiden, you summon it, you can summon another level 1 tuner, you tribute the effect monster, another effect monster, including itself, and you can special summon a Blue Eyes monster from your hand. Very simple. Effect Veiler, I run a 1 of, really just to negate effects, but honestly, like, it's not really necessary. Master with Eyes of Blue, when you normal summon it, you can target 1 level 1 light tuner monster in your graveyard, add to your hand, including Sage. And you can shuffle this card from your graveyard to your deck, target 1 effect monster you control, send it to your graveyard. If you do, special summon 1 Blue Eyes monster from your graveyard. So, Revival. Do you have White Stone of Ancients? Of course I do. And the last Revival card I run, moment of silence for Soul Charge. I miss you. Is Dragon Revival Rhapsody, which basically, if you control a spellcaster, almost all the tuners are spellcasters. You can target up to 2 dragon monsters in your graveyard, including at least 1 normal monster, Blue Eyes White Dragon, or fucking Dragon Spirit of Whites. Special summon them. Your opponent takes no damage this turn. You can only activate one Dragon Revival Rhapsody per turn. I only run one of because of its effects, but it's actually pretty solid. Oh, let me cover the extra deck real quickly, since this one does need an extra deck to be pretty viable. 1 second, guys. So many cards in this fucking box. Why? Oh, right. Alright. So, Galaxy Ice Cypher Dragon, Galaxy Cypher Blade Dragon, Galaxy Armor Full Photon Armor, or Galaxy Ice Full Armor Photon Dragon, and that's it for my Galaxy engine. So basically what you want to do is you summon Cypher Dragon, then you overlay it with Photon Armor Dragon, wow, now he's back. After I do the blue eyes, now he's back. Wow. Anyways, I'm talking about my extra deck right now. So, now, I haven't played blue eyes in a fat minute, because even today I was using more of my Sacred Beasts to test them out. I believe you do Galaxy Ice Cypher Dragon into Full Armor Photon Dragon into Cypher Blade Dragon. I believe that is the combo. So what you want to do, in my personal opinion, if you have a strong hand, summon Cypher Dragon into Full Armor Photon, activate Full Armor's effect, send Cypher Dragon to the graveyard, then summon Cypher Blade Dragon, because if Cypher Blade Dragon gets destroyed, it summons Cypher Dragon back onto the field, so you at least have something to work with. Whereas Nella for the Galaxy questions? For reals. I also run, of course, the legendary number 38 Hope Harbinger, because it negates spell cards and adds it to its fucking effect. Oh, so you're just running it to negate spell cards. Black Rose Moonlight Dragon. I can't play Blue Eyes decks for 2.5 years. Black Rose Moonlight Dragon is just there to pop special summon monsters. So very good against Link monsters and shit. Unfortunately, you can't summon this normally. You have to combo it into another ability. I do have Ultimate Dragon, but I don't run a fusion deck right now. I might... Oh, fuck. You know what? That new Blue Eyes Fusion card might make the Blue Eyes Alternative Fusion more expensive. Fuck, I didn't want to have to buy it, but I might have to buy a copy or two before it gets up in price. Not important. Azure Eyes, very simple. I'll try and show you a play right now with the deck. 9 costs, 1 tuner, 1 Blue Eyes. I do not have a Red Eyes deck now. When this card special summon Dragon-type monsters you currently control cannot be targeted or destroyed by card effects until the end of the next turn. Once per turn during your standby phase, revive a normal dragon monster. Very easy to understand. Link Karibo, don't even know why I run this if I'm being honest. It's just to get rid of my tuners so they don't get hit. Not really sure why I run it. I'm sure there's a play somewhere I don't. Oh yeah, it makes your opponent's attack 0 if they attack, but honestly, I hardly ever use this fucking card. Blue Eye Spirit Dragon. I mentioned Moonlight Dragon earlier. So Blue Eye Spirit Dragon is really good for board control. It negates graveyard effects and negates special summons beyond 1. But another thing you can do with Spirit Dragon is you can tribute it to summon 1 light synchro monster from your extra deck. So you can chain it, you can summon it for Azure Eyes, or you can summon it for Moonlight Dragon to remove a card from play, or to like shuffle a card back into the deck. This is super good if your opponent like runs a full fucking engine for an XYZ card and then they have nothing left. Spirit Dragon is probably the best Blue Eyes extra deck of the Blue Eyes archetype. Oh, hang on, I take that back. Because I got Twin Burst. Twin Burst can't be destroyed by battle, can attack twice. Its attacks are the same as Blue Eyes. If your opponent's card is not destroyed by this monster when it's attacked, it banishes that monster. So, insanely good card. Don't need polymerization for it. These are my last 2 cards. If Mangler's here, he can criticize them, but these are the last 2 I run. I run number 23, Lancelot, Dark Knight of the Underworld. This card can't attack directly, has terrible stats, 2000, but when this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls, destroy it, but once per turn during either player's turn, when a spell, trap, or another monster's effect is activated, detach 1 XYZ material from this card and negate the activation. So this card is very hit or miss. Because it's not a choice. You have to negate the effect. You cannot choose what effect to negate. You are locked into negating the first effect activated on either turn. Good for negation, but that's about it. But unfortunately, that also shoots you in the foot. Shoots you in the foot too. The last one I run is number 68, Sanafoind the Dark Prison. Gain 100 attack and defense for each monster in the graveyards. Once per turn, you can detach one material from this card. Until the end of your opponent's next turn, this card cannot be destroyed by card effects. Also, neither player can special summon monsters from the graveyard. It locks up the graveyard. It will most likely have 3,000 attack and defense or higher when you summon it. And it cannot be destroyed by card effects. So, it's not that good. I hardly ever run into these, but there are times where this is a viable option. Alright, so let me play a hand real quickly with my Blue Eyes deck. Hopefully I don't... I shouldn't brick. I have so much draw power. If I do brick, that'll be fucking hilarious. I have 5 cards for draw power and Searchers of the Ass. There's no way I brick. Is it bad that I have 3 Pot of Greeds? So this deck is more tournament ready. Pot of Greed has unfortunately been banned since the day it existed. The day Pot of Greed took breath was the day Pot of Greed got banned. The day Pot of Greed got printed, the hour Pot of Greed got printed, Pot of Greed got banned. Now I'll do one last shuffle in the middle. Alright. What do we have? Oh, well, I remember what Linkuriboh's play was for now. I have one play in my hand. Just one. But hang on. Play card 1 face down. End turn. I assume card gets destroyed. Next turn. What do I... So we didn't technically brick. We did not technically brick. Because we got Whitestone of Ancients into a Blue Eyes play. But that was the only play we could do. My starting hand was Ultimate Creature Destruction, which will protect the Blue Eyes we summoned. Chaos Max, Raigeki, Whitestone of Ancients, and fucking Master with Eyes of Blue. So that wasn't the worst brick we could possibly have gotten. But we could do nothing beyond a basic summon, and that was it. Thankfully, we did have the Creature Destruction, so we could survive for sure for one turn with the Blue Eyes monster, but still kind of bad. All right, let's try this again. Come on. Come on. Okay, that's looking promising. Okay, this is a better hand. We got Whitestone of Ancients. We got Sage. We got Alternative Dragon. And we got Dragon Spirit of Light and a Return of the Dragon Lords. So what you would do here, you would summon the Whitestone of Ancients, summon Sage with Eyes of Blue. If this is turn 2, this would be a much better turn, but at turn 1, you can summon like basically whatever you want. Personally, I would still recommend, even though you're not going to get any effect out of this. Is the Embassy of Darkness a good card? I don't know. I actually don't know that card. Summon Dragon Spirit of Light regardless. At the end phase with the Blue Eyes with Sage and Eyes of Blue effect. During the end phase for Dragon Spirit of Light, you can summon a normal Blue Eyes monster. I'd recommend doing that with. I recommend personally. It doesn't really matter for this turn since it's first turn. Summon Blue Eyes White Dragon. Next turn, hopefully, they don't get popped. Even if they do, we do have Return of the Dragon Lords. So we have a play to work with, and we do have Whitestone of Ancients to combo into the Alternative Dragon. We'll do a few more first hands real quickly to give some examples, and then we'll talk about my Vampire deck. And I think that'll be it for now because I have Cubics, but I don't want to talk about Cubics. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Oh my god, are you fucking kidding me? Okay. Hey, fuck yeah. Okay, so for sure, I thought we'd break with this one because we drew Card of Constance in the Blue Eyes, but we managed to score a trade in at the very end. Traded on Blue Eyes White Dragon for a... Are you... So... we just gave up our Blue Eyes in the graveyard only to pull an Alternative White Dragon with the draw 2. That is some shit luck. But we do have Dragon Shrine, so we do have ways to get it back onto the field. Play Dragon Shrine. Send an alternative. Send a White Stone of Ancients to the graveyard. Summon Dragon Spirit of White. Get Blue Eyes back into your hand. Alternative summon. So we did have options. Little silly. We got alternative after the draw power. Little silly there. Let me try and set up an XYZ summon if possible, because we're not really doing a lot of XYZ summoning right now, are we? Let's see what we got. Okay, perfect. This can. Oh, beautiful. Wait, does Dragon Spirit of White's effect count for all Light Dragon Synchros, regardless of level? Yes. Yes, it does. Unless Mangler claims otherwise. So we got the Melody Awakening Dragon into the White Stone of Ancients. Pretty solid fucking start. Or actually, no. We would want to play the Melody Awakening Dragon on Blue Eye Solid Dragon. And then what you can do is you can summon, or you can get 2 to your hand, Blue Eyes White Dragon, and then you can get alternative. And I want to try and do a Synchro or XYZ summon this turn. Then afterwards, you can now reveal Blue Eyes White Dragon, play alternative dragon, easy stuff. Then White Stone of Ancients. I believe we can now Synchro into a Blue Eye Spirit Dragon. Next turn we'll be able to do an XYZ for sure. So Blue Eye Spirit Dragon on the field. During the end phase, White Stone of Ancients gets a level 8 monster on the field. Let's go with, I don't know, doesn't really matter for this part. Look at all these Chaos Max I can't summon. Let's go with a Dragon Spirit of White. Opponent does turn, fucking, I don't know, does nothing, or if not, like, fucking, I defend it with fucking, I don't know. I fucking give up Spirit Dragon for fucking Azurize, defend my monsters. Next turn, Azurize's effect. Can't summon any normal monsters because I fucking didn't put a normal monster in the deck. But I do have Dragon Spirit of White, or fucking Return of the Dragon Lords. I will then summon... Actually, I can summon alternative because I normal summoned him legitimately. And then we can XYZ into the Cyber deck on turn 2. It is possible to turn 1 this, or if I'm smart, I play Hope Harbinger to shut down my opponent's game a little further. So, there are options on the table. It is possible to get this stuff out. Unfortunately... Return of the Dragon Lords does not work on Spirit Dragon. It does work on Azurize, not Spirit Dragon. It does work on XYZ as well, just not Spirit Dragon because he's a 9-star. Let me do one more play here. Mangler left. Damn. Feels bad. Holy shit, I have been here quite a while. Doesn't feel like a long time, but it's like it's all dark outside and shit. One last... Is this the brick? Is it... So close. I have Chaos Max Dragon in my hand and Chaos Form for the first fucking time because I run 1 Chaos Form. I'm planning to run 3 of them in my deck later on with 3 Chaos Maxes. However, I do have Priestess. Priestess gets targeted by some effect fucking next turn because they don't read the effect. I get 2 Blue Eyes monsters in my hand, so we'll get Blue Eyes White Dragon and Blue Eyes Alternative Dragon. I probably take like, I don't know, let's say 4k damage, regardless, doesn't matter. Easy fucking setup. Summon alternative by revealing Blue Eyes White Dragon. Chaos forming in the Blue Eyes White Dragon. Send it to the graveyard. And I've summoned Chaos Max. What's that, guys? Let's turn on light a little bit. Yeah, son of a gun. Yeah. Alright, so that's Blue Eyes in a nutshell. There are variations of Blue Eyes. Mangler does run a more ritual-focused Blue Eyes deck with outside support. I do not, for the most part. I have just a vampire deck. I don't really know if I should even really talk about this deck. Like, I do like running it. Oh, there's my 4th Raigeki. But it's like, it's vampires. It's an archetype no one's gonna fucking play. I kind of like it though. I like running some more non-med. Oh, there's my Called by the Grave. I know I fucking have one somewhere. Do you have Anti-Spell Fragrance card? I do not have it. Why might have it? I just don't play it. Oh, I do have Reasoning. Huh, go figure. A Feather of the Phoenix. Huh. Surprised I run that. Is Call by the Grave limited? Because I have 2 Call by the Graves here. Might have to change that later. Yeah, no. So I do have a vampire deck. It's a pure vampire archetype. It has no real zombie support. It does have an extra deck. Not really sure if I need to talk about. Well, I'm going to talk about it very briefly. Not like how the card works itself, but I do plan to make this in my Master Duel deck later. My Master Duel later. So I will very briefly give the deck recipe, assuming like that's legal. I'm thinking I'm running a bit more. I haven't like updated this deck in a while. So I think I'm playing some cards that are no longer at 3 or 2. No vampire support directly got hit. It's just that like I think the rogues I'm running got hit a little bit. There we go. Scarlet Scourge. There you are. Vampire. Hang on. 2 allures. Well, anyway, how are you guys doing? Vampires did get a new support card recently. I might buy it, might not. Duelist. Currently busy right now. Where's my other Fraulein at? I know I already put one down, didn't I? Nope. Where the hell is... Okay, I guess I don't have one on the field yet. There we go. Put this one over here. Boom. Boom. Oh. DC'd for a second there. Whack. Some of these vampire cards aren't that solid of a pick, but I run the full vampire archetype, except for like this new card they made that I don't really think's all that good. I might run it, might not. I don't know if I have any armor dragons. There he is. I was gonna say I know I'm running 3 of each. Okay, I don't think I have any of that. So I'm just going to go ahead and cover this briefly. I don't think you guys care about how the vampires work. That's fine. My zombie cards do not have Yubel. I just run pure vampires. So this is for my future reference for a video for like my deck later on. Do you have Card of Sanctity? I don't think I do. 3 Vampire Scarlet Scourges. 1 Vampire Red Baron. 1 A Feather of the Phoenix. 3 Vampire Domains. 1 Vampire Grace, 1 Vampire Vamp, 3 Vampire Awakenings, 2 Call by the Graves, pretty sure this isn't legal, 3 Vampire Retainers, 3 Vampire Familiars, 2 Vampire Sorcerers, 1 Shadow Vampire is pure, 1 Reasoning, 1 Monster Reborn, 2 Vampire Kingdoms, 2 Allure Darknesses, 1 Vampire Duke, 3 Waifu Vampire Fraulines, 2 Vampire's Desire, 1 Vampire Takeover, 1 Raigeki, 1 Vampire Crimson, and probably my favorite trap card almost in the game, 3 Vampire Dominations. Now on to the extra deck very briefly. I know vampires are getting support in the future, so they already got a new support card. I just don't know if I want to buy it. I might test it out in Master Duel, see if it does anything. Okay, so for the extra deck, for vampires, very basic. Again, pure vampire again. I have, oh, never mind. I have 1 non-vampire card here. 2 Vampire Suckers, pretty good for draw power, and they're vampires. 1 Akashic Magician? I don't even know why the fuck I run this. I'm pretty sure I just run this for a fucking joke. This does fuck all. Oh, wait, never mind. I do have some more. Motherfucker, I knew I had this card! Fuck, I spent like $3 for it! Anyways, 1 Akashic Magician, 1 Nightmare Cerberus, 1 Nightmare Phoenix. This card's like 20 cents, but Cerberus is like $3. And then 2 Dampire Vampire Shirindans. That one's gonna be a little weird, but that one should be easy to find on Master Duel. And 2 Crimson Knight Vampire Bram. Honestly, Vampire Bram kind of sucks. You're really just really just want to get Vampire Sheridan. I know there's new support for vampires that does give you more extra deck options, but it's not out for a while. Beyond that, though, that's more or less my vampire deck. Dude, the vampire deck's look like Jane's father. My extra deck, so regarding vampires, in case you decide you want to make a vampire deck, it's not bad, but vampires have their zombies themselves have really good combos that can be run alongside vampires. I don't run them, but you can make a better deck if you run some zombie engines alongside it. I am aware of that, but I am more of a purist in this game when it comes to my decks. I try to keep decks within the archetype for the most part. Extra deck's a little fair game because I mean, like Blue Eyes has no extra deck. They don't even have a fucking Link monster yet. Can you believe that? Most popular archetype in the game, and they don't have a fucking Link monster. Yeah, beyond that, though, that's about it for the Vampire deck. It's a very life point heavy but focused deck. I don't really think any of you guys are interested in building vampires. It's not bad, but it's very effect based. Maybe a few hand traps wouldn't kill it. You'll notice all my deck profiles I've done so far today have not had hand traps in them. I do play with my friend who does run a few hand traps, but I don't like running hand traps because I kind of like playing the game. I think hand traps are kind of like, they're good. If Yubel can be run with zombies, I might put Yubel in this deck just for shits and giggles. I don't know. But like, I like playing the game, and I like playing people who can play the game. Well, you know what? Fuck it. I'll play a few hands real quickly, see if I can make anything happen. We're already at the end here. I'm not going to explain every single card effect. Again, like, I'm gonna be honest, they're not the worst deck, but even with all the decks I've shown you today, run Blue Eyes, run Sacred Beast over them. Like, there are other archetypes that are better than them overall for beginner-friendly players. Again, I don't think they're bad. I just think that if you're gonna run something, maybe run something with a little more bang for your buck. I'm going to build them, though, because I like vampires, but I also spent a lot of money for a Valkyrie deck, which I wouldn't recommend people build, even though it can OTK pretty nicely if it comes off well. And I bought a new archetype called Exo Sister because they look like fucking Quincy's, which also hit the bank a little bit. Master Duel. What have you done to me? Anyways, shuffle deck a little bit more. One, two, three, four, five. What do we have? Okay. Not bad card, actually. Vampire's Domain allows to gain LP during your main phase when vampire attacks. Vampire Retainer. I haven't played this deck in a while. Give me a second. Vampire Domination. Good in negate. And if it negates a monster effect, we gain the life points. Fantastic. And Vampire Fraulein protects. Reasoning. Okay, why don't you fuckers declare a card number, a card rating? So, I'm going to play Reasoning. Why don't you guys pick a number? You got 1 through 12. Let's go. Might as well make it a little interactive. Give me 4. All right. 4. All right. We got Vampire Grace on the field, so Newen's 4 does nothing. Yeah, so at this point, we don't really have much else. We do have one negate that will give us life points. It's a generic negate across the board. But we don't have any searching right now, unfortunately, because our Vampire Retainer can only search for the cost of 500 life points when it's special summoned. Our next card is Vampire Red Baron, though. So that's actually pretty good. So once per turn, you can pay 1,000 life points and target one monster your opponent controls and one other vampire monster you control. Switch control of those cards. At the end of the battle phase, this card is destroyed. Alright, dude, they went crazy with the OST of the duels. They sound super good, like Final Fantasy levels good. Yeah, so not too bad. Honestly, we could actually link in. Actually, no. So I messed up. I didn't mess up, but like we could link in Vampire Retainer and Vampire Grace into a Vampire Sucker, which allows us to resummon Vampire Retainer by giving away one of the cards. You know, one of our Vampire cards. So we did have a search engine. We did have a search play right there. Let me see this. So you provide life point. If this card for something, you pay 500 life points. Add one Vampire spell or trap card from your deck to your hand. So let's go ahead and add spell and trap card Vampire deck from my deck to our hand. Which one do you want to run? You know what? Let's go ahead and just run the field spell real quickly. But there are other cards you could do here. Is a good OST. Yeah, OST is great. So, yeah, Vampire Kingdoms. Only time monsters gain 500 attack during damage calculation. Once per turn, one card sent from your opponent's deck to the graveyard. Target one card on the field. Send one dark vampire monster from your hand deck to the graveyard. If you do, destroy a target. So basically, some negate, but only if a card is sent from your opponent's deck to the graveyard. The original vampire archetype set up the, and this was kind of a little silly. The original vampire archetype in this game, bro, I used to run Sucker on my Vendrills along with Maziki and Shimreo Solitaire. Yeah, it's just pure, but no. So the original vampire archetype was like, so Vampire Grace, for example, and I think Vampire Duke does the same thing as well. Let me pull them up real quickly. Not all these vampires are good. I just run them because they're vampires, like Vampire Duke. So these two right here. So the original vampire archetype worked off this really weird fucking mechanic of sending cards from your opponent's deck to the graveyard, which is really silly. So Vampire Duke, when this card's normal summon, you target one dark vampire monster in your graveyard, special summon target one face with defense position. When this card is special summon, you can declare one card type, monster spell or trap. Your opponent sends one card of that type from their deck to the graveyard. You can only use this effect of Vampire Duke once per turn. This card cannot be used as an XYZ material for an XYZ summon, except for the XYZ summon of a dark monster. So this mills your opponent's deck by one, so you can tell them like send one spell card to the graveyard and they send one spell card. Honestly, Mangler can disagree with me on this one. The only time I think this will be useful for both of these, because they have a similar effect, is just to send spell cards to the graveyard. I don't think there's a lot of spell cards that benefit from being in the graveyard all that often, depending on the archetype. Even traps too. I don't think a lot of like there are archetypes that clearly do it, but like if you're gonna hit something with this effect, you're probably gonna want to hit spells. Now your opponent does choose it, unfortunately. So that's a little where it's like the new vampire archetype works off life points to do abilities and healing, which is a smarter archetype decision. I'm glad they decided on it. But yeah, every now and again, like it's okay. Solemn Wish is easy. Well, again, like, so Vampire Domination is like probably one of the best trap cards in the game, I'd say, for counter. So it's a counter card, and its effect is when a spell or trap card or monster effect is activated while you control a vampire monster, negate the activation. If you do, destroy that card. Then, if it was a monster card, gain LP equal to its original attack. You can only activate one Vampire Domination per turn. So wasn't Fraulein Vampire like $16? I wanted to pick her up for Vendria, but she was super expensive at the time. When I got Fraulein, I think she was like $5 a pop. But I have 6 Frauleins. I have extra Frauleins actually, because when they send me Fraulein, they send me extras. I guess they were having a hard time selling them or something. I don't know. So like, yeah, I actually have like 6 Frauleins. I have like, maybe I have 7. Yeah, I got plenty of Frauleins. But Fraulein works with any, so for context, what Fraulein does is, well, monster declares an attack, you can special summon this card from your hand in defense position. You can only use the effect of Vampire Fraulein once per turn. Once per battle, if your zombie monster battles an opponent's monster during a damage calculation, you can pay life points in multitudes of 100. Max 3,000. Your battling monster gains that much attack and defense during damage calculation only. At the end of the battle phase, this card destroyed any monsters by battle. You can special summon them from your graveyard to your side of your field. So, the effect vampires gained. So not only did they gain life point manipulation in order to gain effects, they also gained the ability to take over your opponent's monsters after they destroyed them. Similar to how in most mythologies with vampires, when they bite you, you become their servant or another vampire. Very cool idea. I think it's executed well in the deck. I just don't think the deck's good enough to actually be really competitive. I like it though. And that's about it for all the decks I own in real life. The only other deck I can talk about is Cubix, but it's Cubix. There's not much to say about Cubix. You either get the monster out or you don't. Most powerful vampire card attack-wise? I believe it's 2400. Hang on. I'm pretty sure it's this one. It's, where are you? I think it's 2400 though. So it's not strong, but you combine it with Fraulein, you can get up to 5400. And if you have, yeah, 2400. Vampire Red Baron right here. I think he's stronger in the XYZ card as well. Let me check real quickly. No, I take that back. The XYZ card is 2600. So the XYZs are stronger than him by 200. So if you play Fraulein into this card right here, Vampire's Domain, you gain back practically all 3000 life points depending on how you're doing damage. So there's never, so if you have Vampires, like this deck synergizes incredibly well with itself. So if you do have Vampire's Domain and you use Fraulein's effect to do damage, you will usually gain back all life points you wasted on Fraulein's ability. And I think Fraulein's ability works for every zombie per that battle phase. I could be wrong though. It does say once per turn, but I think in YGO it let me use it multiple times. Could be wrong on that though. I'll have to test out Master Duel at some point for sure. But yeah, no, more or less those are all my decks I have in real life. I did buy a real life Valkyrie deck, and I did buy a new archetype recently called Exo Sister, which is just Quincy's. It's a little bit more on the expensive side. Well, this is the fucked up part. Like, most of the cards are less than $1, but then they have like fucking 3 to 4 cards in the archetype that's like $10 a pop. Or like in some cases like 11 to like $14 a pop. So hit the bank a little bit. Along with some extra Blue Eye support that was cheaper than usual. That hasn't been reprinted in a while. If it does get reprinted, I will be very sad, but I don't think it has. Even if it has, it's still a better deal. It used to be, like, the Blue Eye support I bought used to be, like, $30 to $40, and it dropped down to $15, so that's a really good deal. But yeah, beyond that, that's about it. Again, all I have left is Cubix, but I'm going to be honest, just don't. No point running Cubix. I do have Monarch cards, but it's not a complete Monarch deck, so no real point talking about that one. I'll talk about, I will try to make these decks in Master Duel and try and like work off hypothetical like buffs and shit, but for the most part, that's about it for all the decks I have. Fuck. So I only really have 4 playable decks right now. That'll turn to 6 with my new support coming out, maybe or with the new cards coming out. I'll take a look at that Blue Eye support. I know it's coming out in the Battle of Chaos. No point? You mean not enough days in the calendar? There's no real point. I'm a busy person. I gotta write a novel. We wait to do you, lol. I got novels to write, Kyle. I have things to do. Yeah, no, it's just Monarchs, or it's just Cubix. The Cubic cards, honestly, are just fucking trash across the board. They have a few good cards for sure. Their boss monster's really good. Their fusion boss monster's really good, but most of the Cubix cards are terrible. What are they waiting for? Oh, for the most part, nothing. I'm just kind of like, I'm gonna probably get off in a few minutes. I'm just like finishing it off so people like if they have any questions or anything like that. At this point, like, these are all my decks. Like, my new decks won't come in until like next month, maybe like February 11th. They said they'd all come in by. I am getting some Pop Extravagances beforehand though, so I might try to out my God card deck, see if that helps out. So basically, reviewing my decks for a minute. If you like what you saw in the decks, like if you've been here the entire stream and you like what you saw and you want to play Master Duel, they're all pretty solid decks. Our Exo Sisters, Exosus new. They are new. They are coming out in the brand new archetype. Brand new archetype coming out in the brand new box that dropped today, actually. And they're being shipped out. The only reason I bought them beforehand is because I like the way they're like counter graveyard manipulation. I like the way they look. And on top of that, I feel like if I didn't get them now, they're probably gonna get super expensive later on until they get reprinted. They seem like an archetype that's gonna disappear real fast. I could be wrong though. Either way, though, like $15 a card is, or like they were like $11 to like $13 a card for the more expensive ones. So not that bad. At any rate, so very briefly talking about this, you guys can check Master Duel for yourselves. Personally, I do think the Sacred Beast is probably the best one to build here. I think it's more consistent even than Blue Eyes. My Blue Eyes deck is pretty consistent as well. God card deck, even solo God cards are still pretty bad. I've attempted it, even with their new support archetypes, not very good. Even Raw still fucking sucks. I'm not. I'll probably make my like complete God card deck and Master Duel and leave it at that. Because I might try out some Obukus and some strategies with that deck. Just not very good though, unfortunately. So for me, it'd be like Sacred Beast #1. If you do take my advice and run some of the new cards I was going to run in my Blue Eyes deck, Blue Eyes would probably be a little more consistent, but Sacred Beasts are fucking crazy consistent. So Sacred Beasts or Blue Eyes tied for the first recommendation. Beyond that, though, I would just recommend Vampires if you don't like the other two archetypes. No reason to run God cards. Again, like as much as I like the God cards themselves, they are not that good. I have a deck map for the God cards and everything too, so I really like their art style and everything. They're really cool to me, but they're just they're not good. Yeah, beyond that, that's gonna be it. So yeah, I won't be streaming today. I might stream tomorrow, but we'll see. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for your time as always. Have a nice day, and I'll see you guys on the next stream or video. Take care, everybody.